Some things in America just seem unshakable, like Boeing building planes. So when Boeing halted its US production lines, it felt like the country itself had stopped. This wasn't just another company in trouble. This was Boeing, a symbol of American innovation and power. The silence from those assembly lines sent shockwaves all the way to the White House. President Trump's reaction? Explosive. For a president who promised an industrial rebirth, Boeing's shutdown was more than bad news. It was a direct challenge. Boeing isn't just a company, it's a lifeline for thousands of workers and countless suppliers across the nation. A shutdown like this threatens entire communities, not just a factory floor. Suddenly, Trump's America First agenda faced its toughest test yet. Would his policies protect American icons, or had they become part of the problem? The Boeing shutdown became a defining moment, a president forced to confront the messy reality of a global economy. The fallout was immediate, and the nation was watching. How does a giant like Boeing just stop? It was a perfect storm of rising costs and vanishing customers. Tariffs on steel and aluminum drove up expenses, while international buyers started canceling or delaying orders. The Trump administration's trade war, meant to protect American industry, backfired. Foreign countries slapped tariffs on US planes. Suddenly, Boeing's jets were too expensive for global buyers. Orders dried up, inventory piled high, and building more planes made no sense. Boeing's leadership called it a painful but necessary pause. They had to stop burning cash on unsold planes. For a company accountable to shareholders, the risk was too great. The shutdown was a desperate move to survive a trade war that was supposed to help them. The tremors rippled through the entire American economy. President Trump's response was loud and relentless. He took to social media, blaming past administrations and foreign countries for Boeing's troubles. At rallies, he called the shutdown a betrayal and promised to get the factories running again. For Trump, this wasn't just about jobs. It was personal. He painted himself as the only one who could fix it, turning the crisis into political theater. The message was simple. America was under attack, and he was the defender. Details about supply chains and tariffs were ignored in favor of a powerful, angry narrative. Millions who felt left behind by globalization heard exactly what they wanted. Tariffs were at the heart of Boeing's crisis. The Trump administration used them to force companies to buy American, but the global economy is a tangled web. Other countries retaliated, targeting US exports, especially Boeing jets. Suddenly, building a plane in America meant higher costs and fewer buyers. Even Boeing's American-made planes relied on global parts, making tariffs a double-edged sword. The shutdown was the inevitable result: rising costs, falling orders, and unsold planes. America First policies, meant to protect, ended up hurting one of America's biggest champions. The lesson? Trade wars have consequences, and even giants can fall. Boeing's shutdown was a warning shot for the entire economy. The cost of protectionism was now impossible to ignore. The Boeing shutdown split the nation. Critics blamed Trump's trade war for the chaos, calling it a self-inflicted wound. Supporters argued the pain was necessary to fight unfair trade practices. In Washington, the debate was fierce. On Main Street, fear and confusion reigned. For families relying on Boeing paychecks, the shutdown meant real anxiety about the future. Some blamed the president, others blamed Boeing, but most just felt powerless. The story dominated headlines, talk shows, and online forums. The Boeing crisis became a mirror, reflecting America's deep divisions and anxieties. When the dust settled, the Boeing shutdown left a lasting lesson. No country, not even America, is an economic island. Tariffs meant to protect can backfire, hurting the very industries they're meant to save. The shutdown forced a national conversation. What does America First really mean? True strength may lie in global leadership, not isolation. The Boeing story is a cautionary tale. Slogans aren't enough in a complex world. As Boeing's doors reopened, America faced a new question. How do we protect our workers without burning our own house down?